asked to share this story because it's simply reflective of all the work that all our team do day in, day out. So it's nothing special about this particular story. It just exemplifies what we do. I was introduced to Hugh and Janet August last year, and they were really struggling. They've been married for over 60 years. They've been a devoted couple. They've not had any children, but sadly Hugh suffers with dementia and was increasingly getting worse, to the point that Janet was struggling to cope as his carer and contacting social services. And so we were in the midst of the pandemic, and there was no help available, there's no respite available. Janet was, if she did nip out to the shop, was coming home, and Hugh would manage to unwire electrical sockets, take all the locks out of the doors, and was incredibly difficult to manage from a safety point of view. The care management officer contacted me and asked, could we do something? And after a couple of phone calls, it was clear that they were in severe distress. And I met them in the garden, and we had quite a few chats and conversations over the phone or in the garden over cups of tea. And it became evident after a while that he was a retired carpenter. And when we discussed that, his eyes lit up and his whole demeanour changed. And the passion that he'd had for his trade over the years just came flowing through. And with delight, he showed me this workshop in his garden, explaining the tools, explaining what he had done in the past. I was trying to see that there was clearly with him a desire to do something, to be productive. It was manifesting itself in his little foibles around the house. And through conversations, we discussed the possibility of him making bird boxes. And I had a good contact with the local sawmills who offered to supply some wood free. And with the community centre, they were very interested. The community centre locally run a food bank out of there, and they were very interested in taking the bird boxes and selling them, and the contributions then going into the food bank. Once Hugh heard about this, he was further enthused. He was delighted the thought that he could now contribute and his skills were of use. And I say Nick's got the pictures that ultimately share with you. Hugh made some beautiful bird boxes. They went to the local schools. The local police officers were enthused and were so interested and bought a couple. All the proceeds went to the food bank. And it gave Janet the ability to continue to care for Hugh. As we all know, dementia, sadly, is ever increasing. He's not going to get better, but it bought a bit of time, and it kept them as a couple stronger for longer, and it reduced the need then at that time for services. I'm off here at the moment covering the post, but I still speak to Janet every month or so, because as we all know, we build these relationships with people and dare I say it, care about people. And they're just lovely people. And there you can see Hugh. He's such a lovely guy. And what they tell me is, Hugh is still working in his workshop. He's happy. His health has deteriorated, but he's still able to keep occupied and productive, which is giving him some peace in his troubled mind.